What's up, guys? I'm Frankie, aka Cisco Kid.
And I'm Corey, aka The Stooks. We are the Movie Bros. We will be giving you weekly reviews on movies that are coming to theaters. We will also be giving you classic reviews on movies that have already come out.
We're also going to be doing a sports show too. We'll give you a weekly recap of the teams that are playing, the ones that are good, the ones that are bad. We're Houston fans, so we're not all about them. We want to know what you guys think. So just drop a comment, a like. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about, and we even review crappy movies. We guys are here for you. We any kind of sport. If you like croquet, we'll do croquet. I mean,
We'll find out about croquet.
well, we will.
We will learn
I wonder what the
croquet.
scoring settings are. Do they have a fantasy team?
I want to do croquet, fantasy croquet.
That's the next thing we're gonna do. But anyway, guys, today we're gonna be talking about The Big Short. Um, it was okay. That's my take. Corey is much different. But Corey is a movie buff. So am I. But he's more into he looks deep. He looks for too much. I think.
Well, let's start with the story, I think. Well, what I like about it is it does give a accurate depiction of the housing crisis. I feel like it is a dark subject matter considering a lot of people lost their homes. I feel like at times the direction and story can be uneven. They use a plot device to kind of explain Wall Street terms for the viewer, and it was cool the first time they did it, but they went back to this device four times, and it's
Selena
just
Gomez was explaining something to me. Like, really?
it's just kind of uneven.
Did you feel like, as an audience, did you feel like you were?
Being looked down upon.
Yeah, right.
In a way, it is a little condescending. The first time was cool, but you going back to something again and again, I don't know. The one thing I'll give Adam McKay credit for is this is a man who is known for directing comedies like Anchorman, and he does a fairly good job of bringing this true story to light. I even though I have qualms with the editing and how the story was presented, one of the biggest problems being we lead off the movie with Christian Bale, and I feel like
You
we
don't
don't.
see him again
It's
until
sporadic.
it's like, yeah, it's just.
You
Oh wait, I forgot about Christian Bale. We need
he'll
to
be
put him
gone for
back.
25 minutes,
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
we'll get him, and it's like I don't know because when you're a viewer, you're like, well, maybe I guess he's the central character, but he really isn't. I mean,
Yeah, he wasn't, and I think my favorite storyline was the Gosling and Carell, and it shows Carell as an asshole. He's a jerk, but then there's something behind it. His brother had committed suicide, and he was talking to him when he did it. And the first thing he said was, "How much money do you want?" And I think that really hurt Carell. So Carell was always dealing with that throughout the whole movie, which was I thought it was a really great part, but we didn't find out why his brother killed
I
himself.
I feel like those are unanswered questions where I think those questions might have been more interesting than going to a plot device explaining Wall Street terms again and
I
again.
agree. I agree.
Um, I think Steve Carell is the conscience of this film. He
Right.
is if we the audience were in the movie and he's reacting to the corruption.
No, I love the
that's
scene where he's with the CDO,
yeah
something,
yeah
and
yeah.
he's this man is pulling his hair, just saying, "How can you live with yourself?" And then the man stands up and says, "Well, let's put it this way: How much do you make? And then I'll tell you how much I make." Walks off, and I actually thought this scene was amazing, where you see the two guys with Brad Pitt. They don't have as much money as Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, or the CDO. So it shows the CDO going in the limousine.
Oh, that's
Then it
such a
shows
great
Steve Carell
shot.
getting in a truck
That's such
that's
a
driven, and then it shows the Brad Pitt characters getting in a taxi.
that's
Which I thought that's an amazing scene, showing you the levels of these people were in.
that's the one thing I'll give McKay credit for. He did do some things very well. And while I do have qualms with some of the stuff that happened in the
I
film,
agree.
you have to give him credit, and it is a different kind of movie for him. And I thought
Right.
some of the stuff he did was great. Should we talk about the performances though a little bit?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I mean,
Uh,
that's pretty much the storyline. We'll go with the performances. My favorite is a tie
oh,
between Gosling and Carell. they worked so well together. This is actually their second movie together, so they already had that.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had their their good chemistry working together, and them just feeding off each other was awesome.
Gosling is hilarious
I
in this
agree.
movie. God,
And actually, the funny thing about Gosling is that this man is about one thing, and that's the money. That's exactly, and I love the scene where he's just like, "Hey, I never said I was the good guy."
Yeah.
Shows the $47 million check
bonus
that the
check
bank gave him.
The bonus.
So this man got money from Carell and the bank, and he was just, I mean, what do you say? You hate the guy? No, because that's the problem with America, is that it's about the money.
Yeah.
It's greed.
I think Steve Carell, of course, we already talked about him being the moral conscience of this movie. He does a really good job. He got nominated for a Golden Globe, and I can see why.
I'm pissed. He didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Exactly. If there was one performance from this movie that should have got nominated, it should have been Carell.
I don't understand why Kristen. Have you noticed the Oscars always give the man with 15 minutes the freaking Oscars?
It is unusual.
The 15-minute man is what they need to call that award.
I feel like Christian did decent, but I don't feel like it's his best work. No. I loved him in The Fighter, American Hustle. He has given much better.
What's the mechanic?
I think
the Mentalist. The Mentalist.
He's given much better performances than this. I don't feel like it merited the Oscar nomination.
I agree.
Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like about the movie.
What do you want to go with first? I'll say the likes. I think the acting was great as far as the main people. What about you?
I feel like the acting, some of the performances are excellent. I feel like
I also like how he whenever the guys that are, Steve Carell's like, let's go look into this, and they go to Florida, and the guys are just, they knock on this man's house.
Oh, that's devastating.
It's horrible.
That guy with his little kid.
Exactly. He said, and he's like, I paid my landlord. He says, well, your landlord's 90 days past due.
That was sad. That's devastating. And I feel like that's kind of an accurate depiction of what was going on in that time period. It is devastating.
And for me, I never knew that was actually going on. I don't know if you knew.
I
never knew that. Yeah. So, and for being a homeowner, you're like, you look back on it, you're just like, wow. Well, like, I hope that never happens, because that's, and they said it beautifully in the story. In the movie. They said everyone's dream is to have their very own home. Yeah. And I mean, it just, and that's what Steve Carell was, an asshole in the movie, but he was the people's asshole. I think that's why I loved him so much in the film.
I have the same. I agree with everything you just said. Let's talk about what we didn't like. I don't like the going back to a plot device again and again. Going back to something 4 times. It's a little lazy. I feel like the editing, the process of how they spaced Bale could have been better handled. I think editing wise, that's a problem.
My thing, not going back to the Carell's brother dying, why he died.
They didn't go into
more detail about that. Yeah. Also, the Christian Bale thing, like I said, they kind of left it out there. They just said it's out there. Just believe it's out there. You know? And a great movie. And it's just I think that
could have been better.
It could have. More. My biggest thing was, and this is what I told you, was I thought it was going to be one of these movies. I thought it was going to be the Wolf of Wall Street type of movie, and I guess because we've been so used to things like that, it just didn't happen that way. So that's what I thought. It was a great movie, and sometimes I kind of felt that they just said, "Here, I'm going to give you an all-star cast and
just go out
there, do what you got to do."
I feel like this movie was similar to Greed. It's a Wall Street movie that could have been better, whereas that movie, Wolf of Wall Street, is an excellent movie. It's an entertaining Wall Street movie.
And that's the problem with movies like that, is to get the entertaining factor. And like they said even he stretched some of the things that they said in The Wolf of Wall Street. They could have done the same in this movie. Absolutely. But so the final thing we do is our rating system. So Corey, what's your rating system?
I would give this movie 3 out of 5. It is uneven. There are some things to like about it. It is a Blu-ray buy. I think it is a Black Friday Blu-ray buy.
I'd give it 3 Wall Street Bells out of 5. Again with Corey, definitely Blu-ray, especially if you're a Blu-ray collector. Um, I'd wait till Black Friday, give them that bin, and go from there.
Even if you guys could catch this on HBO, if it's on TV, like I
Don't
would.
watch it at night though, because like I said, it's a long movie and it kind of just it's not an entertaining movie. It's a great movie, just not an entertaining one.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's our first review, and thank you for watching.
Hey, like I said, give us a like, subscribe.
Tell us
throw-
what you want us to review.
Exactly. We can even do crappy movies. I don't care. So the movie reviews are signing off. See y'all.